Hey Leo, your February tarot reading is ready. I'm Eleanor. Welcome to Pink Pearl Tarot. This has your main themes, week-to-week forecast, career and finance, and then love. So for February, your themes are rain, fecundity, and black. Find richness from the dark night. So this can be an incredibly cathartic and healing time if you aren't holding on to anything too tightly. Things will be washed away this month, but it's all for the purpose of cleansing. It's also a time of preparation for whatever the next thing is. I don't see this as a time of fresh starts, but more for clearing the way for the next fresh start. They're trying to give you a clean slate. So let the tears flow. Let the blockages be power washed out of your path and drink in the spiritual nourishment of this time. It won't always be comfortable, okay? For some of you, this could feel amazing. For others, it might not come without some degree of grief to process. And if that's the case for you and you're confronted with an empty space after something has been cleared away, and the idea of it being cleared away to make way for something new is not helpful, honor that space and don't rush to think about the next thing. Don't rush your process. So week 1, you have the 5 of Wands reversed with the Hermit reversed. This does look like a smoother path this week with some conflict being cleared out of the way if you can get over yourself a little bit. I don't mean for that to sound harsh, but this is a call to engage and to show up. People do need their alone time. That is very healthy. It's a healthy thing. But there is a cultural trend where we've gone so far into ourselves, and then alone time isn't even truly used for alone time if we're alone on social media. We're just in our houses, but the mind isn't really getting recharged in the same way. It's like getting to where that slightest whiff of conflict or discomfort makes it feel like that any connection isn't worth it, where we're not willing to put up with anything ever at all. And so no wonder everyone is lonely and struggling to maintain friendships. Some of it is downright antisocial. And while, yes, this is a collective trend that we are all responsible for fueling in a way, they're asking you to be honest with yourself about where you can actually get out of your own way to some degree. They're asking you to look at one situation in particular and ask where your own intolerance is the obstacle. It's like, are you giving others the grace that you expect them to give you? Now week 2, you have the World with the 7 of Wands reversed. So here you're looking at the weak points or the permeability of your boundaries, the efficacy of them. So, but also, are they so successful at keeping the unwanted out that they aren't letting the healthy or the good things in? The path to wholeness lies not only in that flexibility, but also in honoring yourself within those boundaries. Do you keep the promises that you make to yourself? A question being asked here is, have you created a greenhouse effect with your boundaries? Meaning, like the way the atmosphere lets in the sun's heat, but must also let it escape or the earth heats up to dangerous levels. So preventing this cleansing rain to do its job in the name of self-protection. Does the scariness or discomfort of the metaphorical rain seem like a good thing to put up a boundary to keep out when it's really needed? So here's a concept to think about for this week. Boundaries, not as a means to protect your comfort, but to protect your wholeness. So that's a thinker there. Now week 3, you have the Queen of Coins reversed with the 10 of Cups. When the Queen of Coins or Pentacles comes up reversed like this, you're looking at where you're feeling deficient, whether that's not having enough or not being enough. It can manifest as feeling uncomfortable in your environment. If it's become cluttered or disorganized, it can manifest as feeling uncomfortable in your body. If you're dehydrated or in sleep debt, or like not managing your blood sugar, it can manifest as not having the cash flow to feel secure, either because it's not coming in enough or too much is going out. But I want to point out with all of these that as the Queen, this is pointing to things that are within your control, not things that would fall under the injustice of late stage capitalism, which there are plenty. These are choices. So those things that you can't change, that's not what this is talking about. Anyway, once you've identified them, The process of bringing them back into balance can have profound impact on your mental health because the mind and body are never separate. And if you feel like it's mental health that has led to the choices that created the imbalance, that's totally legit and fair. But I would argue that one of those things is easier to change than the other. So if changing your mindset has been too heavy of a lift, start small on the material actions and see if reverse engineering it doesn't kind of lighten that load. Ask for help if you need to. That interaction alone will meet a need and fill one of your cups and get you closer to that 10. The 10 of Cups is traditionally depicted with a rainbow somewhere in the iconography. Rainbows imply rain and restoration of hope after a dark time, after the storm, almost like star energy. So it's going to feel amazing, like a hot shower after a long, cold day. Now, week 4, you have the Ace of Cups with the Queen of Wands emerging from that hot shower, rejuvenated, refreshed, replenished. This feels like a glorious emergence of sorts. The lady on this Queen of Wands card has this kind of same energy of the lady on this Rain card. So beautifully and fully alive because energy is flowing freely again, getting into all of the tissues and the cells and the corners of the heart and mind, plumping up the soul. Like it might have felt like a raisin a little bit recently because it feels like the end of a sort of drought. This shows everything being unblocked so that energy can be channeled freely into whatever it is that you're choosing to focus on next. This month has definitely felt like the darkness of a seed being planted in the dirt. And with the hydration and the self-care, you burst from the darkness to display your radiance. I love it. You can essentially do anything that you put your will behind at this point because the lines of focus are open. Now for career and finance, you have the Eight of Wands with the Essence of Earth. This is very much reflecting the energy of all, like especially these last 2 weeks, with the Eight of Wands representing fast changes and the sort of increased force and speed of something that's recently been released. The initial momentum of something that's been held back and building pressure. The Essence of Earth is the same as the Queen of Pentacles, but here she's upright in her full power and activation. She has received the nourishment of this rain. I mean, like even in the image here, we have, I feel like that's rain coming down, or that's how I see it. This means that all of these energies that we've been talking about for February will have an especially significant impact on your professional and financial goals. They are not separate facets. They're saying that you could apply everything that has come up in this reading to your job, your business, or your portfolio. It's a time to be receptive to change because it's bringing in wealth. One way or another, it's restoring your sense of enoughness. The only thing is the Eight of Wands, it represents fire, which is a different type of cleansing energy than the water of this Ace of Cups and the rain. So instead of the metaphor of the seed breaking free from the dark, rich soil, it feels more like Phoenix from the ashes energy. Something could possibly be burnt up or deconstructed here, but the result is the same, the creation of a more fertile environment to grow your income or to get more out of your existing income. The Eight of Wands is a pretty unstoppable force, and the Essence of Earth is very anchored, like a deeply rooted oak in a windstorm. You cannot stop the windstorm, but you can stay rooted. You might lose some leaves, but you will remain standing. You might drop some dead limbs, but they were only siphoning off vital nutrients that your roots were taking up anyways. So for love, I'm changing up my love readings. I'm trying person A, person B, and how they're viewing the connection at this time. You'll know which one is you because hopefully you will recognize yourself in one or the other. Now, if you see yourself in both, it is possible that the other one sees them would be exhibited in a little bit of both as well, and you're mirroring each other. So person A with Page of Wands reverse, they're feeling a lot of desire towards the connection, a lot of passion and sexual energy. But they are restricting it for some reason. It's like they have no idea how to express it or to where to begin. They're suppressing it. Person B with the Eight of Swords, they're not faring much better. They're seeing the connection as just out of reach, something that they want but can't have or can't access, or so they think, okay? So under the themes of rain and richness of the dark night, the advice for person A would be to identify the blockage. Like kind of like an electrician trying to figure out why your home is not getting power. Where is the malfunction? Is it lack of confidence? Is it another commitment? Is it a fear of what others would think? And like the old back in the day Nintendo cartridges, blow it out, get it out of there. It's hard to say exactly what that would look like because the scenarios are so different. But until that obstacle is identified and washed loose, they'll continue to feel repressed. Now for person B, the obstacle is more obvious. It's their mindset or a belief. So maybe some shadow work could be involved to illuminate exactly what that false belief is, and then work closely with emotion to either eradicate or replace it. So that's what I have for you, Leo. Looks like a month full of a lot of changes and great things on the other side of it. Much love, and I'll talk to you next month. Thank you.